Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's lesson, we're going to dive into some key literary devices that will make your writing more powerful and your reading more insightful. If you've ever heard terms like irony, foreshadowing, or oxymoron and felt a little confused, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they mean and how to spot them in literature. So grab your notebooks because we've got a lot to cover. Let's jump right in. First up is irony. Now, irony occurs when there's a difference between what we expect to happen and what actually happens. There are three types of irony: verbal, situational, and dramatic. Verbal irony, when someone says the opposite of what they mean. Example, if it's pouring rain outside and someone says, "What a beautiful day." Situational irony, when the outcome is the opposite of what we expect. Example, a fire station burns down. Unexpected, right? Dramatic irony, when the audience knows something the characters don't. Example, in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, we know Juliet is still alive, but Romeo doesn't, leading to tragedy. Next, we have foreshadowing. This is when the author gives us hints or clues about what will happen later in the story. Example, in Harry Potter, the early mention of the Philosopher's Stone foreshadows its significance in the plot. Foreshadowing keeps readers engaged, making them eager to see how the hints unfold. Oxymoron is when two contradictory words are placed together to create a new meaning. Example, common oxymorons include phrases like bittersweet or deafening silence. It's a way to highlight contradictions or complexities in ideas. Allusion is a reference to a well-known person, place, event, or work of art that adds deeper meaning to a text. Example, saying someone is a real Romeo alludes to Shakespeare's famous character from Romeo and Juliet, meaning the person is romantic. Moving on to juxtaposition. This is when two opposite ideas or images are placed close together to highlight their differences. Example, in A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, the famous opening line uses juxtaposition. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This contrast emphasizes the conflicting experiences of the time. Anaphora is the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of successive clauses or sentences. Example, in Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, he repeats, "I have a dream," multiple times, emphasizing his vision for equality and civil rights. Euphemism is when we use a mild or indirect word to replace a harsher, more direct one. Instead of saying someone died, we might say they passed away. It's a way to soften the impact of difficult topics. Let's talk about tone and mood. Tone is the author's attitude toward the subject, and mood is the emotional atmosphere of a text. Example of tone. A sarcastic tone would sound like, "Oh, sure, I'd love to do extra homework." Example of mood. In a horror story, the mood might be dark and tense, filled with eerie sounds and creepy settings. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds, usually at the end of words, while assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds within words. Consonance example, the lumpy, bumpy road, where the P sound is repeated. Assonance example, the early bird catches the worm, with the E sound repeating in early and bird. Flashback is when the narrative goes back in time to give the audience background information. Example, in To Kill a Mockingbird, Scout often recalls past events, helping readers understand her childhood and the roots of her community's prejudice. A paradox is a statement that seems contradictory but actually reveals a deeper truth. Example, less is more. How can less be more? It's a paradox, but it means that simplicity can be more impactful than complexity. Understatement is when something is presented as being less important or significant than it actually is. Example, if you were in a massive storm and said, "It's just a little windy," you're using understatement to downplay the severity of the situation. Motif is a recurring element or idea that has symbolic significance in a story. Example, in The Great Gatsby, the green light is a motif representing Gatsby's hopes and dreams for the future. Finally, we have cacophony. This is the use of harsh, jarring sounds to create a sense of disorder or chaos. Example, a sentence like, "The clanging, banging, and screeching of the factory filled the air," uses cacophony to convey a noisy, chaotic environment. And there you have it. 15 essential literary devices you can use to analyze texts and improve your own writing. Whether you're reading for school or working on your own creative projects, understanding these tools will give you deeper insight into how language works. Don't forget to hit the like button if this video helped you, and subscribe for more writing tips and English lessons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.